Okay. I'll call our June meeting to order. Hi, everybody.
I apologize for that.
Perfect timing, Chris. First we have our agenda in front of us. I notice there might be one change we might want to make, but Kathy, I see.
I have a few changes.
Great.
Should I do that now?
Can we make a motion?
Motion to
And then-
accept the agenda.
Yeah, and then we can.
Who is taking?
Oh, who's taking? Oh, golly, not me. Nay, you're.
I can take notes.
Oh, okay.
Are you taking notes?
Temporary job.
I'll take some too, just in case.
Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, there was a motion.
Thank you, Chris.
Support.
Motion.
Moved by Renee, support by Chris.
Any discussion?
Yes, I need to make two amendments to that.
Yes.
Under unfinished business, I'd like to add approval of fiscal year 2027 budget. And wait,
Which-
Under which section?
Which year?
wait a minute.
In addition to what's listed under finance committee?
No, under unfinished business. Yes, approval of fiscal year 2027 budget. And
Under
under,
unfinished business approval.
yeah,
of
of fiscal
fiscal
year.
FY 27
2027 budget.
Okay.
And then under new business, approval of June 2026 budget amendments.
Approval of June.
So Kathy, are you suggesting they come out of where it's under the subcommittee finance?
I'm sorry, no, had
Okay,
it been placed there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I swear.
it's
Under
under the
finance.
finance committee. update.
Oh, okay, so I
Digital
didn't have this
version
one, I had
Is
an
different than
earlier
this
one.
print version.
So,
Yeah, the digital version was different, Kathy.
Oy.
That's why. The version we've had online looked
that's
different.
different. I noticed at the very top, the first bullet said April. So I'd like to acknowledge that it is June.
Well, I'm just
Good
going
for summer.
from how we had it last year. We put one under unfinished business and one under new business. So that's where
I see.
came from.
I think it's fine as long as we pass those. I don't know if it matters where in the agenda it is, so
Mm-mm.
we can do it under finance, but
Okay.
thanks for that attention.
So are we going with it as printed?
With the April removed at the top, April call to order.
Yeah.
I think this call to order is fine. Any other discussion on the agenda? All those in favor of approving the agenda with the one amendment as discussed, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. Agenda is so approved. Next is our presentation. Aaron,
Yes, ma'am.
come on, would you like to come on up here? I don't know. if
Right,
you're
You're welcome to
Fast.
sit.
All right, perfect.
Grab this chair.
You can sit, or there, you can sit in Dahara's chair. And there's a spot here.
Right.
Griffin, you want to come up?
Hot seat. All right.
You can come on up next to me. Griffin is here for MCD. Steve was not able to make it, so Griffin will be mainly working on our project, right, Griffin?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, all the construction administration. Yes.
I have a
Nice to meet
couple
you
of
all.
handouts if you don't mind.
His name is
Griffin,
Griffin,
yes,
Griffin or Griffin?
Griffin.
Griffin with MCD.
Here's another handout coming your way.
Do you have anything you want me to show on the screen?
Nope. I don't think so. Unless you want me to, I have my computer.
I have mine. I can pull up. Are you showing page?
I was showing page, the summary and page, I'm sorry, yeah, and page, 8.
I should bring that up.
Spreadsheet.
Should I bring that up?
Maybe
If
just the
this is-
summary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to show it for them on. Okay, cool. No, we're good.
Okay.
Copy of this is what I'm gonna say.
And
So-
since this may be a
Okay,
lot of
Liza.
our first time meeting you,
Yeah.
Aaron, if you want to just give us a little intro and context.
Absolutely. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. My name is Aaron Phillips. I am the project director over at McCarthy and Smith. Just down the street, we are your construction manager for the upcoming renovation. So definitely appreciate the opportunity to be here and be a partner in this wonderful endeavor you have underway. So this is a presentation on the award recommendation package for the current remodeling work slotted. We've had a couple different preparatory meetings leading up to today. The first was with library leadership, and the second was with the facilities committee yesterday. And so we've gone through in quite a bit of detail this package in and out. So what we're going to share with you tonight is the really important stuff. But certainly if you have more detailed questions, I'm here to answer those as we work through the package and here to help. So without further ado, I'm going to point your direction or point your attention to the big 11 by 17 page. This is this big spreadsheet with a lot of different numbers on it. So just to recap how this process works. As you know, MCD Design created the design documents, which include the drawings and the specifications. We, as a construction manager, take those drawings and specifications, create bid packages with separate, distinct bid categories. So things painting, HVAC, electrical, et cetera, et cetera. And those are listed here on the far left column. We then we create a package based on that, and then we solicit bids and conduct a public bid opening. The public bid opening was back a week and a half ago. We had great bidder turnout for all these divisions of work. So I'm gonna review this. That's what I want to go over today is the bid results, how those turned out, and then the package for the total project pricing from the construction standpoint. So on this 11 by 17 sheet, you see bidder information in green at the top left. These are all of the different bid divisions, the far two left columns. So earthwork and site utilities, asphalt paving, selective demolition, and so on. Following the bid opening, we take the qualified low bidders and conduct what we call post-bid interviews, which are a series of in-depth interviews. Griffin and his team are there. Myself and my team are there. Sasha and Peter attended post-bid interviews. The purpose of those is to make sure that we have a good, solid bidders in line. They understand the project scope. They understand the staffing requirements. They understand the project in general and that their bid makes sense. That's an important part of a project like this because we don't want to sign up for the wrong company. You can have a low bid, but if the low bid doesn't make sense, you're behind the 8 ball from the very start. So all of these contractors that we're bringing with you today, we are recommending as a construction manager. We have great experience with all of them. The only company we did not have any experience with was the landscaping contractor, Bid Division 148, Mulch and Dig. We've done quite a bit of due diligence over the past several days, and they received great feedback from some of our competitors, some of our colleagues in the industry. And so we're happy to recommend them for that amount. If you go over underneath the bidding summary in green, the second column from the left there, number of bidders, we had 74 total bidders, which is a great bidder turnout. It averages almost 4 per category. Some categories were a little higher, some categories were a little lower, but in general, we were very pleased with the results. The low range and high range, I like to illustrate this because it kind of captures the competitiveness of the bids. Had we had fewer bidders, it could have probably crept up into that high range, that $7 million range, which would have been a far stretch for the budget. We did ask bidders for a building breakdown of their costs. So Farmington branch told about 2.5 million, I'm rounding, and then Farmington Hills branch about 2.2 million rounded. So the construction GM, one asterisk note, if you'll see bid division 105, building and site concrete, There's an asterisk beside McCarthy Construction Company, which by the way is a completely separate company from McCarthy and Smith. We've been asked this question before. Great last name, completely different company. So they're up in Commerce. They do building concrete. We do not do building concrete. You don't want me finishing the concrete. We'll let those guys finish the concrete. So this asterisk does say second low bid. Low bidder had an estimating error and requested to withdraw their bid. So this is a good example of why we conduct post-bid interviews. Right before we were scheduling, I actually received a proactive call from that company and said, Aaron, we made a mistake. We missed all of the exterior sidewalks. We need to withdraw our bid. Why do we let them withdraw their bids? I use this analogy a lot. It's kind of like going and buying your first new car, used car. You go to a used car lot, you like the car, you look at it, the check engine light comes on, you're driving it, you know the check engine light's on. Do you still buy the car even though it's less expensive? You may be lining yourself up for expensive repair. So if we know there's a mistake from a contractor leading up to it, not a great idea. Let's let them move on. Everyone makes mistakes. The estimator made a mistake. They withdraw their bid. No harm, no foul. We go to the next bidder. Any questions so far?
On the bidding summary that we were talking.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'd like to understand how a couple of things work.
Sure.
So on the very first one, earthwork and site utilities, you had two bids.
Yeah.
One was 174, one was 262, and the recommendation is 178.
Yep.
So how does that happen?
So if you'll look under base bid in blue, so the base bid is $174,000. We're adding what's called a PLM bond. That's a performance, labor, and material bond. A PLM bond is a specialty type of insurance policy that says basically if this company disappears, if their company lottery wins the lottery and they all go belly up and they fold and they stop halfway through this, I'm creating a far-fetched example. They stop construction halfway through and they disappear. A bonding company, their bonding company would step in to complete the project at the agreed upon contract cost.
Okay. And then, let's see,
So, excuse me, so they're paying the bond or we're paying?
You're paying the bond through our recommendation. And to add a little bit onto that, state of Michigan, we kind of go off state of Michigan requirements. Any contract over $50,000 requires a PLM bond from an owner's perspective. It's publicly funded dollars. This falls in publicly funded funding. So we feel it's a good idea to accept that. You can not do it,
No,
but it's a high level of risk that you're undertaking. So we want to eliminate risk.
Okay, cool.
So is the bond cost, the total award recommendation
Yes.
minus the low range?
No, there's no math in the low range. That's just to illustrate to you the high and the low bids. So the total award recommendation for each category is their base bid plus their PLM bond cost.
So the PLM bond, if it's not used, are we reimbursed?
No.
Kind of like car insurance.
It is. It's
insurance.
It's insurance. It's a risk reduction measure, and we have seen that come into play before. 100%.
At this point in time, have your interview already occurred?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Chris, you had another question?
no, I was trying to understand how those work, but now I just went through and did the arithmetic, so I got it.
Quickly.
Wonderful. So what we call up top is hard construction. That's none of our fees or management, right? This is hard. If you were to then essentially conduct the work yourself, you self-oversee, self-manage, that would be the number. You've hired us to be the construction manager, to oversee the work, manage the day-to-day operations. We make a fee on it, which is nice too. And then, so a variety of things. So I'll go over that construction GMP. GMP stands for guaranteed maximum price. Guaranteed maximum price. I don't want this to be confused. Through the process, if we decide as a building owner or a project team or a board, hey, you know what, this room wasn't slotted to be painted, this boardroom. We really feel like while the painters are out here painting, and again, just an example, that we want to paint this boardroom, that cost would be a change order. That would not be included in the guaranteed maximum price. Kind of makes sense, but just wanted to walk you through that. So the guaranteed maximum price is what's currently shown and drawn and specified in the contract documents, right? So the math here, we have hard construction and allowances. We have the hard construction award recommendation, which is that $4.6 million number, which equates to that total award recommendation number, right above. We have an allowance for donor plaques. So this is something that's being developed with the project team. We're not quite sure what that's going to look like, but we want to make sure there's some money baked in for future development of that, right? If we end up developing that and the plaques cost $10,000, you get $10,000 back, or really it's just not funds that are spent, right? If it ends up costing $30,000, that would be then a change order to that guaranteed maximum price. Make sense? So that total for hard construction equals that $4,666,029 number. Everyone good? Awesome. Construction manager fees and costs. So these all correlate to our proposal back in November-ish, whenever that was, late last fall. And these are the derivatives of the total award recommendation costs. So we have pre-construction services, that's $33,000. That's basically to get us to this point where we are today. So it's estimating services, planning, the bidding process, post-bid interviews, etc. General conditions budget. What are general conditions? General conditions are things like porta-johns, dumpsters, temporary fencing. They're intangible objects that go into the project, but it's not physically connected to the building at the end of the project. That's a budget. CM fee, this is a percentage. This is a rate based on hard construction. And then CM personnel reimbursables. This is our staff associated with the project. So I have a full-time superintendent at the branch. We'll also have an assistant superintendent at the other branch. So we're always going to have day-to-day field operations with eyes on it, overseeing the quality, safety, total field operations.
How is that calculated?
It's in our original proposal. It's number of hours multiplied. It's arithmetic. It's an hourly rate multiplied times the duration of the project, multiplied times the utilization per week. So superintendent being the most expensive component, because that person is here 40 hours per week. Other administrative staff, myself, I'm not including any of that. I'm an overhead cost. So, but you'll see me. Sorry, you won't be able to get away from me. But we'll have a project manager and a project engineer as well, overseeing the project administratively. And then bonds and insurance. So PLM bond, you'll see that again. Ooh, what does that mean? Well, if we win the company lottery, which we will not, we don't play. If McCarthy and Smith all of a sudden disappeared, you then have an insurance policy with McCarthy and Smith to oversee the rest of the project from a large standpoint, right? Each individual was kind of an aggregate perspective. This captures the overall project. And then general liability insurance, and those are rates as well, Sharon, based upon values in the package.
For the full project.
Correct.
So this PLM bond down here is the bond for your company.
Correct. So when we add up hard construction allowances, plus construction manager fees and costs, plus bonds and insurance, that totals the $5,480,029 number. That's the construction GMP.
That does not include any architect or.
Correct. Yep, this is just construction. So Steve and Griffin and their teams are separate entities with the construction management team. We work very well together, but two teams that we ultimately report to you all. Any questions with that sheet?
I'd like to, if Griffin can comment on it. There was a big jump in the Farmington price, and a lot of it, Steve explained, was due to the brickwork that's needed. And could you just describe what their plan is for the brickwork, why it's so special?
Yeah, so I think originally there was no brickwork in that kind of recessed children's area. That was then added later in the project. It was originally just all concrete walls. Masonry work in itself is not cheap, and there is a large surface area of that brickwork throughout those tiered concrete forms. So I just think the quantity, and it is a thin brick veneer, so it's not full brick, so there's some cost savings there. But I just think the quantity of the brick is
For
that
both,
cost.
for both the outdoor areas?
Mhm.
Yes, yeah,
Because it made a substantial jump in the.
yes, yeah.
Otherwise it'd look like a big gray battleship, like just all gray
Mm.
walls.
It'd be pretty cold
Yeah.
environment for a.
Well, what color are the bricks?
They match the building.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was so confident.
Got it.
So you're able to find that brick or this?
Yep, yeah, so we have a brick rep and they came out with samples and they matched it and took pictures and
There
we
is something
approved it.
about plants in the brick too, or?
Yes, so it's a tiered planting. There's retaining walls and in between the walls are planting and landscaping.
Is that a soft brick? There's soft bricks that fall apart easily.
No,
right?
they're
Okay.
very durable. I mean, they'll have warranties on them and everything. No, yeah.
Okay.
All good. Okay, so now we will go to the 8.5 by 11 sheet that says farm to community project summary sheet.
What? Oh, no, I was in the meeting yesterday. Oh, okay.
So this project summary sheet is it's kind of it's a form that gives you an idea, and I asterisk idea and underline and bold it, an idea of total project cost. You can see the big black line that's a quarter of the way down the page here. Above that line are all construction costs. So that's recognizable, the 5,480,029 number. That's that GMP. So these are the same numbers that we just reviewed. You have the 4,666,000 number for hard construction, the $814,000 CM fees, again totaling the 5.4 million. Other owner costs. So these give you, some of these are developed, some of these are developing, and some of them are budget numbers. It's a best check at this point. So as we develop the project and continue to move forward, we like to offer, hey, what could this total project look like? So item number C is project contingency. We always recommend a project contingency of around 10% on a remodeling project like this. And that's just money set aside for the unknowns, subsurface soil conditions, something in a wall that needs to move that we're not aware of. If you don't spend it, awesome. Going back to my analogy earlier from painting this room, perhaps we get near the end of the project and the project team's done a great job on protecting that contingency and everything's gone really well. Maybe we do want to do some things that weren't originally slotted, and it's a great time to paint the boardroom, for instance. That could be money that you as the board could decide to move forward with, or with Sasha's direction, however that's going to end up working, right? But the intent is to protect that money until you all say, okay, spend it, or hey, we want to protect it and hopefully credit it back at the end of the project.
So on this figure,
Mhm.
would that be intended to capture, some budget for change orders?
Yes,
in there?
that would be the intent, right? So there could be a drawing error. There could be a scope item missed. Those capture any changes that need to happen along the way. But again, the intent is to not spend that money, but that's intended what it's for. Correct, it happens, correct. D are architecture and engineering fees. And this is a rate based on hard construction and use of contingency. Not to put, I'll just speak because Steve kind of did a nice job with it yesterday. A ton of the AE fees have already been spent, about 85%. Thank goodness, right?
Yeah.
So that's not on top of what you've already spent, because really, when you look at the design of it, the bulk of it's done.
Mhm.
So what remains is the construction administration, the CA. So that means Garrett and his team are going to come out on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis check out construction, make sure it meets the intent, make sure another eyes to make sure it's the quality that we all expect. But that's that last little bit that's set aside for them. For the math here, right? It's adding up, assuming that we're going to spend all of that contingency. Think of this as worst case scenario, right? If we don't spend the contingency, there's no design work associated with that money. That comes back to you as well. So again, it's intended to be worst case scenario on that line item, right? Furnishings cost. These are budget kind of plug-in numbers, a what if number, right? New FF&E, that's furnishings, fixtures, and equipment. Think furniture. I think furniture budget is pretty small on this one. Perhaps that's going to be invested in the next phase. But for right now, we've set aside earmarked kind of $100,000 for a what if scenario. And I say the library, we're not managing that, but it's just to help capture total project cost. There's a technology component through some of the remodeling. We're gonna have to move some security or AV type communication lines, etc. So that's what some of that money is allotted for. And then section F, other owner costs. So building plan review costs, permitting. So that'll be through both City of Farmington and City of Farmington Hills. We have to pull building permits. Sometimes, if there's a great relationship within the cities or the townships, right, they cut you a deal because you're kind of an entity. I don't know if that's going to happen here yet. We're getting ready to submit, but you never know. Sometimes there's some help out. We just saw that in a couple other adjoining communities, which they waived some of their fees, kind of their administrative fees. So we'll see. But that's an earmarked dollar amount for that. And then a moving budget, earmarking somewhere around $75,000. There's going to be some phased work that takes place. We hope to not spend any of that, but surely there's going to be some stuff that needs to be moved throughout the process. So when you take the hard construction from A and B above, plus the owner other costs, we're coming up to about $6.8 million. Original project budgets, perhaps Sasha, if you want to take this one, but we were kind of aiming for a goal budget. We're a little above that goal budget, but I think we're, at the end of the day, the library is getting what you need and want at this point, and it's great competitively bid, so it's great value for what's been brought forth. So,
And that's based on the original estimate that Aaron provided after he reviewed all of the plans, after we had a 90% completion of the plans. So that's where that number came from, in case you're wondering. He had provided an estimate early on to say, okay, this is how much the job's going to cost. I think with the proposal or something.
The 6.2
Mhm.
number. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's once we got the 90% plans. He estimated it.
yeah,
At
we do a budget estimate to
budget.
see where it could land, but there was some scope adds
Mhm,
through the course of it, and as the drawings got finalized and developed,
mhm.
that obviously added some
Right.
cost.
These weren't done with 100% plans.
So we did our best.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, we think this is 6.2 with the gracious and lovely support from the Friends of Nine. We're at about 6.3.
Correct.
You're saying here at 6.8, they're about $500,000 short.
Correct.
Mhm.
What we budgeted for, what we think this may cost.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's called what's called design development. So there's 3 stages of drawings. First is called SD or schematic design. It's kind of like on the back of this paper, hey, we're thinking of doing this, right? Design development or DD is a little more developed at that point, right? The drawings are on sheets of paper. We estimate to that with some assumptions and some guesses between DD and the construction documents. There was some massaging and to Sharon's point, the integration of the brick. So some of these things add cost, and this is the true value of the work. So
With keeping in mind that 500,000, this is also including all of those owner costs that we hopefully won't have to spend, all of them.
But it may be a realistic.
Correct.
To expect some things to
Yes.
spend, but
Correct.
kind of did
Yes.
like here's the worst case scenario.
Right.
So-
Like we know we're gonna have to hire some movers to move some of those that furniture downstairs. We know that. Not a ton, but someone's gonna have to come in and help us move those.
Right.
So yeah, we know we're gonna spend that, some of that.
And me and Ernie can't go, but.
Correct.
We appreciate the offer.
Yes.
Anywhere we can cut
I mean,
costs.
Ernie's not here. You know.
We can nominate him.
On the movie that.
Yeah.
Right. Right, and also keeping in mind that like the architect fees, we've already paid most of them, so that's not like we have to pay it again, it's already done. Yes, it's not new money. Good way to put it. Mhm.
Any questions for Aaron or Griffin? Thanks, Aaron.
I'm excited.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that your first or last name?
Griffin is my first name. Angelou is my last name.
A-N.
Geliu.
LIU.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Thank
you
you, guys.
consider our construction
Oh, your architect.
architect.
Yes, he'll be the contact going forward. It won't be as much Steve. It'll
Yes,
be
yeah,
Griffin.
me. Yep, and I'll be out on site for OAC meetings and such, so. Yeah.
Mhm.
So your name is Griffin?
Yeah.
Angel.
Yes, it is. Yep.
It's fantastic. Name, give any like Snodgrass.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Perfect. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll call you tomorrow.
The plan is the vote tonight then?
Yes,
Is that the,
I
okay,
believe so.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, if you'll let me know, because we're prepared to send letter of intent out and
Okay.
and all that today, so. Great, thank you very much.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you,
will
everyone.
that
Don't
be-
forget are those your keys or your keys?
Mine.
Okay.
So when we get to 2027 budget, we'll have to make this change,
Well,
This isn't on the agenda.
right?
um,
For approving the budget. Right? Well.
It was-
but I'm-
it was modified. No, it was
Okay.
modified.
So, well, I'm gonna talk to Real Point before we go ahead with. this.
Yes, and yeah, that's what we talked about yesterday. I was gonna bring up, I can do it now or during my director section.
Oh,
We're talking about it.
No, you're fine. So as you know, we decided to go move forward with Real Point, and what I've,
Hold on, I'm sorry, point of order here. Are we still in the presentation, because we haven't done public comment meeting? Here, but in the agenda. We're going in the.
do you want to wait till my director's report? I'm totally fine with that. Okay, good,
Okay.
good point of order.
But I have some questions about the whole thing, so we're gonna do it in the director's.
Sure, I'm good with that.
Okay, next up is public comment. Any public want to make comment? Not seeing any, let's move to approval of our May minutes. You should have that in your packet. So happy to,
What?
the May minutes,
Oh, the main.
meeting minutes. Sorry, I'll
Oh,
put that.
do that.
Are you making a motion, Sharon?
Yes.
Thank you. Second for that.
Second.
Thanks, Kathy.
Mhm.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
I'll abstain.
Okay. So. Moved. Passed. Next up is treasurer's report. Kathy.
Okay. I move the board approve the May 2026 operating bills totaling $271,716.97.
Second,
Any discussion?
I'll make the motion.
Kathy's
did it.
already made
You
the
already did.
motion and Renee has seconded.
Okay.
Renee has seconded.
Murphy has
I
second.
did.
Thank you. We appreciate the eagerness, Sharon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So the expenditures, no,
I
the
move,
operating bills have passed.
Yeah. I move to receive and file the May 2026 financial reports.
Any support?
Support?
Thank you, Chris. Any discussion? Not seeing any. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any, so it is passed.
Under Michigan class updates, in May, our earned income was $46,212.01. Our year-to-date earned income was $225,090.02. And our month-end balance was $14,671,004.14. On May 1st, our daily yield was 3.7530%, and on May 31st, it was 3.7369%. So we lost a piece of that. Ernie, myself, and Sasha all signed the L4029 form. Yes, right here. And that's used to report the tax rates that will appear on this year's tax bills. So we don't know those figures yet, but I think we get them in September.
Thank you, Kathy. Anything else for treasurer's
No.
report?
I just have a quick question. So on this document I'm looking at, I see the total bills that you asked us to move and approve, 271,716.97. But down here, it says there's a motion required
Yes, that's what we just did.
for the $487,788.82. I never heard that number.
Yeah, you said that.
Oh, you
You
know
said
what?
it's
That
one.
wasn't on there, so sorry.
Yeah, I
So
think
what
we-
was it?
I think we approved the wrong amount.
Yes, we did. So I'm sorry.
Good catch, Chris.
So let's fix that. I appreciate that you caught that. So, let's see.
Amendment to the operating bills.
Yes. Yes. And I'm only, this only happened because when Plant Moran sent me this form that I used to write down what everything is, you know? They did it in alphabetical format. Well, that doesn't help me. That takes me like 10 times longer because I'm looking at each invoice that we get by the date that it was. So when she sent me this, she didn't put that part on the bottom.
I see.
So sorry. So I would like to amend the operating bills for 2026, May 2026. I move the board approve the May 2026 operating bills totaling $487,788.82.
So support.
Thank you, Chris. All those in favor of the amended amount of $487,788.82, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any. Operating bills passed. Next up, we have our Friends of the Library. Go ahead, Stacy.
So far, I wanted to thank everybody who came to the member appreciation party last Friday. I think everything was pretty much well received. Got some good suggestions for what to do next year to make it even better, I'm hoping. It's very interesting, Ashley, that they sent me a list of the attendees from the past 25 years or so, as well as the different groups that performed. And we had, in 2004, we had 497 people attend for the Michigan Opera Theater, which was a lot. I'm not quite sure how that could happen right now. But it's interesting to see what the return has been, and I noticed a lot of missing faces from the friends. So, we had between 160 and 170 people, which is about last year's plus a little bit more, down from previous years. So, and just, thank you to everybody who helped out: Maria, Sasha, Jillian, Peter and Ashley, who are not here, all the staff who worked, but those people who I called out really just did a tremendous job. So, I know they're right.
Do we have less friends than we did in 2000?
It goes up and down. You know, I think about this when I look at doing a lapsed membership. letter. We've traditionally done it in the spring, but I don't think that that's necessarily a great way of doing things, because nobody looks at 4/15 as a date. They look at 12/31 as a date.
Mhm.
So I think we would propose that we change it so that we send out a renewal membership letter and a lapsed member renewal letter as well. And then work on and see what we can do to get new membership. That is, it's more of a strategy thing, in terms of how we go about doing this. There are some things that we cannot do as a 501(c)(3), you know, that, if we did it, we'd have to have taxes that we pay on it, or we have to show it as non-income earned, you know, if you offer like an incentive of some kind of thing. So I have to look into how we can update that, and to talk more about how we can look at the right minimum distribution for people who need to do that kind of thing. I would like to, Chris, when you talked about matching, I would like to see if anybody wants to do a matching gift, to see if it can increase the donors. But, you know, we do have a big core of people who are interested in retaining their Friends membership, and they get a lot out of being part of it, so I'd like to.
So what is the concern about offering what you refer to as an incentive?
There are some tax burdens that come with that, as well as in Michigan Public Acts, you can only do certain things, and I don't know the details of it, so I can't speak to it in detail, but I do know that if you do something, then you have to declare that as non-income earned, and you may have to pay taxes on it. And we have not done that in the past because as a volunteer, or we have a volunteer treasurer who is a CPA and has enough on her plate. So I would like to get more Friends board members who can look at the money with a better eye than I have and see how we can accomplish that, because I think it would be helpful. I know that there are some Friends groups in the state that do it. Traverse City District Library, I think is one of them, but I have to look and see, but we are limited by what we can do by, whatever Michigan Public Act it is that governs that, you know, constitutions. I would still like to do it, though. And we continue apace with volunteers and coming out of woodwork, so we have a lot of community support in that sense. I mean, everybody volunteers, become a friend. You can't volunteer unless you're a friend. Sorry, that's the preference for membership. So we're on hiatus for July and August. Okay. And we'll be back in September.
I think what you're referring to is unrelated business. Not.
It's something, and I don't know what it is, but I know that it exists. It's in, I think the Friends of the Michigan Library has some information on this, that I'll have to look up.
Yeah,
But
I would get their advice because tax is pretty high. You have to spend a lot of money on your incentive.
if that is the,
Yeah, so it's worth looking into. Yeah.
definitely, I think so. And we also have an incentive that is incentivized, and so, well, but that requires strategy, and we don't necessarily have. We need one.
I'm a little bit confused because you are a 501(c)(3). So if someone wants to donate $5,000 to you, do they get the receipt back saying you're a 501(c)(3) and they can use that as part of their charity deduction?
Sure, they can, we do that as well, but I'm saying that if you want to have levels of entry in terms of a membership, if you wanted to come in at a base level, and part of this is because we put giving amounts in the bylaws the last time that this was redone, which I thought was not great, because then you have to change the bylaws in order to change giving levels. So if you have a giving level of $10, so you could have students, for example, become friends. It's a very base level. They don't necessarily get anything in. They get to come early to the book sale. But when you amp it up, then what do you do more to show appreciation and to have some kind of visible reminder that somebody is a friend of the library? for example, if you see cars around town, a lot of people have the purple and white friendship circle magnetized sticker on the back, right? And that's a charitable organization. And so if you give to that, then you get something that you can slap on your car or wear on a shirt or something. And so in order to incentivize people to do that, it means that you come in at a higher level, but then you get that. But there is a difference between the amount that you pay for the membership and the amount that the friends can claim in terms of how much, based on whatever the gift for giving is. And there are some tax burdens associated with that. It might just be sales tax, it might also be something else. So I have to examine that because we have to retain our 501(c)(3), and we have not been audited in a long time. And we have to make sure that that audit goes through and is successful. But I am looking at changing, and some of you know this, I am looking at changing membership levels so that there is more incentivized ways of giving. Because I think at this point, it's just, I mean, it's been like this for 10 years.
Well, you know, for example, let's say there's a special room in the children's section. And you wanna get by, you know, something for this. And that can be an item that's $50,000. So you could ask anyone, that they have to be a friend, if they make a donation for this particular children's section. And can you do, they could be a minimum friend for $25, but they're gonna make a donation for a certain part of the building.
Well, I think that you can do something with that. Like when we talked about having the outdoor study area, you don't get to put your name on a plaque for $25.
Right.
Right? You have probably a minimum donation of, I would imagine, maybe 500 or 1,000. And I'm not even gonna mess around with anything under 500, for example, right? But I mean, we have to talk about this as well with the library administration. And see what would be considered,
Well,
Right.
it shouldn't wait too long because they wanna be done with this whole project by June 2007.
well, I don't wanna wait too long either. I just need the time and the people.
If I can help Stacy on it now, I mean, I think what you're talking about is just unrelated business taxable income. And depending on what you're thinking about as an incentive, it's gonna be so low of your budget. And you way more than exceed the public support test, because all of your money is public support. I doubt that there's a tax liability. The tax liability may fall on the donor. Like if I give you $25 and you give me a sticker that costs you 50 cents, my donation was actually $24.50.
Yeah.
That's, so the donor might, but like usually like public television and all of them, you know, like you get your little bag and crap like that. I mean, they just already built that into that tier amount.
Yes.
So I just think it's unrelated business income. And I don't think you're gonna sell anything. I think you're gonna give it away. So anyway, if I can help, let me know. If I can help,
appreciate that.
let me know.
Okay, I think that it's very interesting
It's
because
selling stuff.
I know, it's very interesting that you say this because I think the Friends Board is a little gun shy about doing anything that is different than what they have done before. For example,
It's uncomfortable to change. It is.
I don't know, I appreciate change, but apparently according to my financial advisor, I have a moderate to high level of risk that I'm willing to tolerate. So, right?
Oh, that's
And
true.
the other folks don't necessarily. So, for example, I wanted to get a summer intern that we could pay, but they would be considered an employee. They didn't want to deal with that because that meant then withholding taxes and it meant, you know, supervising and all this kind of stuff. So the level of risk that I'm willing to take, because I've done stuff like this for like the entirety of my
Understood.
career, is not something that everybody else wants to take. So moving the needle takes a lot of effort. So if you, and when Ernie came in March, April, I don't even remember.
It was March.
March, that was, I had been broaching coming to, nobody comes to the board meetings but me, anybody can come, but I'm the only person that comes, right? Bernie was the first person to come, and it took me 4 years to get people to do that, so.
honestly, I don't
Yeah.
know what I can do to be helpful, but
Mhm.
just let me know if I can help. Okay, I am absolutely positive. You can offer a low cost incentive that will not at all touch your tax status. I mean, it's like, that you're, first of all, you're not selling it,
Right.
so you don't have unrelated business. You don't have an unrelated business expense because it's directly related to your line item that would be fundraising, the cost of fundraising. And that's the line item that goes on. So I think that you're worried about the wrong thing. I think. But, you know,
I
the
may be.
library
Maybe.
people could help first before I step in.
I understand. Thank you. I
Let me know what I
appreciate
did,
it.
yeah.
Thanks, Chris, for supporting the supporters of the library, which is the Friends. It was a lovely event. It was my first time
Yeah.
being there, and I know there's a few of us there, so. Thank you, Stacy. Thanks for all the work that you do, and looking forward to you keeping that pressure on the needle to keep moving slowly. Appreciate it. Thank you. Sasha, you want to take us through your director's report next?
Yes, I will start with the printed report. I'm just gonna jump to Food Truck Tuesdays, starts next week.
Heroes and villains.
Heroes or Villains is the, do you need a copy? Yeah.
I do.
Is the theme. Oh wait, I think I threw it over here. Yeah. So if you can come and support, we would love to have it. Our summer kickoff celebration, end of school was today, from 12 to 3. Am I right on that?
Yes.
Maria is looking a little tired from that event. How many people, Maria?
1,300 plus.
1,500 plus.
Oh, gosh.
So it was a great event.
Great.
Kona Ice was there and other fun things. So she's looking a little tired, that's why.
I'm a little tired.
Starting July 1, we are updating or we renewed or are renewing our MML liability insurance. It went up a tad bit. It's a $5,000 increase, and that basically is due to property values increasing with a 4% inflation guard, and there's a small rate increase to the MML pool fees. So that's why there was a little increase. We have several staff attending the ALA annual conference in Chicago this year. It's nice and close, just a train ride away. So we've got at least 4 staff going, so we're excited. Pat, our IT person, is going for the first time to observe and meet some vendors about some new self-checks and kind of immerse himself in all things library.
Is there an opportunity to like present as a library at this conference?
Mhm.
Do we ever do that?
I think there's an opportunity to present at any of the any conference. It's getting the application and things in such so far in advance. ALA is like September of this year for next June. They do it way in advance. So it's definitely something I have looked at. I've presented at state conferences before, so that's something I definitely will be encouraging staff as we move forward in things, you know.
When I presented at the IUG conferences
Mhm.
several times, that paid for my conference fee, which was really.
That's
nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get discounted or at least one free conference fee and things like that.
On the
So.
board, was on the board of IUG, that paid for my hotel and everything. So
Nice.
that's really nice.
Yeah. I always support somebody presenting. I think it's great experience for the staff and it gets us out there, gets our name out there. So I love that. And because it is the end of the year and I have, I was joking with Delhara earlier that I have now, I feel like come up for air from my first 6 months. I have started with Jill and Maria and the supervisor team looking at our strategic plan. So we can start kind of the new year looking at where we want to go. So the last bit of the report is really looking at some of the goals that were identified at the beginning of this fiscal year prior to me being here. So, but we reviewed them, and these are some of the things that were identified then that they wanted to complete in this year. And most of them have been completed. We had our building audit, building accessibility audit on the back, automatic address verification for library cards. We did that. That's our patron point. We've got digital library cards going. We're working and looking at free printing and faxing. That's in process because that is something I also want to do. So we're still digging into that one.
I do have a little question on that one, but
Yes.
complete your report.
Okay. And then we're looking at the implementation of policies and procedures to increase accessibility. The major activities of that has been done, but that's policies and procedures is an ongoing thing in my mind. Every community member understands that we're vital and valuable. The new business welcome packet is in progress. We have our new outdoor sign and targeted marketing using our Patron Point software that we have. And then 3.1 is the staff, empower the staff. We've got monthly organization-wide internal staff information newsletter, the Did You Know, that Jill puts out every year.
Very nice.
It's been so nice and lovely. I think you guys get copies of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's really good.
A quarterly collaborative meetings for department heads in specific areas like programming, materials, processing. We've gotten, I think, 3 out of those going. We have 1 or 2 we need to still kind of make sure we do. So that's in progress. The documenting, tracking patron incidences we have done. Training, management communication training for supervisors was done last summer, fall.
Spring.
Oh, last spring. So kind of overlaid the fiscal year, but that's okay. An internal communication plan is in progress. So that is something I kind of we kept going, and that's really going to take place probably over the next year with me coming on board. So that one is in progress. We want to establish like an internal communication plan after listening from surveys and staff, that we want to make sure that our communication plan of like how we relay information to our staff is done in the same way every time, that we identify who gets first. Are we doing email? Is it going to be on Teams? Is that something, that needs to be in person, for like kind of identifying how we're going to communicate, not only internally, but externally as well. So our marketing, Sarah is leading that to work with our supervisors and stakeholders to ensure that we are taking into account the ways and the methods and the time. And my preference is I email supervisors at least a couple hours before I email staff something, so the supervisors have time to review, ask me or Jill or Maria questions before they're then answering questions from their staff. Give them a little heads up, give them time to read it, maybe ask questions. So a couple hours or the next day, then their staff would get the email and they are already feeling prepared for the questions we know staff are going to have. So kind of identifying what is that going to look like going forward to help answer some of, staff want more communication.
So the printing and fax things for free.
Mhm.
Huh?
We'll probably, in, and often like credit card versus cash is used, because for every credit card transaction, we're paying a minimum of $1, maybe $1.30. And if they're only swiping for 40 or 50 cents, we're losing money. Yeah, we're losing money. So we will probably save money in the end when we aren't doing that. By just letting them go for free, because we don't have to pay. It's $1 every time somebody swipes, it's $1 flat, plus a percentage of the total charge. So
That's why you need a different credit card manager. That's pretty high,
it is.
but I think, I don't know how you find one. I know that you can get
It's
a lower.
really hard, and that's actually a new lower fee. We were paying
Okay.
higher.
Okay.
And I worked with the person we were using and negotiated actually a lower fee because it was higher.
So
Sometimes you're painful to go on.
Anyway.
Our issue is not our issue. Our process is because we have to connect the online payments with the credit card
That's what I was
machines.
gonna say.
It's the
I
connection
understand
stuff.
This 100%. This is this is, I think it's gonna be probably at the end of the year, pretty cost neutral.
Mhm.
And it really will, and people really like it. The deciding up to what the certain amount is, I have no comment on that.
Yeah.
I would say if you find the faxing is, so printing is inexpensive these days,
Mhm.
you know? So, but if you find that faxing, what a couple of libraries in the area have done, I've noticed recently, is they just moved it like to cash. You can only fax with cash.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to throw that into your theme mix. You may already know that from talking to other libraries. But, I have to fax things to the state on a secure fax line, like about twice a month. And, I've noticed the different facilities I've used. And some of them have just moved to cash.
Mhm.
So but I really support this. Thank you for looking into it. I think, plus every single time I've had fax or print anything at this library, because I'm stupid, some librarian has to come over and help me. So that's another cost, right? I'm dragging them away from whatever they're doing for those 10 minutes to come and fix whatever I just screwed up.
Mhm.
So I support this. I think this is a great idea. Just wanted to throw that cash factor in regarding
Definitely.
faxing.
You're
Well-
not stupid. Just want to say that for the record.
To use
Kind of hard.
fax
And-
machines.
I will say, I was actually thinking about this recently too, because I had to print and I'm like pretty tech savvy and I think it is not the most user friendly system. And I've done it enough and I'm like, why do I
It's because
still
it's the
struggle with it?
payment barriers that the library
Every,
has
yeah.
going behind the scenes that you're
Yeah,
not
I would
seeing.
love for somebody to look into that process, because I think from
But
a
I
patron
think-
standpoint, it's not
I just
very
think it's gonna be
friendly.
cost neutral at the end of the day, up to whatever your certain amount
Right.
you
Yeah.
figure out.
Right, and that's what we're working on is I want to take like the average number of faxes and look at is it,
Yeah,
and I
look
also,
at it.
yeah, and we're also determining is it per fax, is it not fax, is it per print, is it per page, is it per day, is it per month? Like I want to make sure that we're being logical about it and look at the data. At the same time, like for an example, what we've also started doing is when people do use their card, we used to have a hold of $20, I think. Now it's down to 10. And I actually want to get it down to 5. So every time you swipe your card, they're holding $20 in the cloud to see how much you print, and whatever you don't print comes back to your account. Or for some people, they only have $10 in their account. So that's the first thing we did is reduce that total. At the same time, I want to update the machines that take the money. So when we do have somebody who's got to print a ton and it's an easier machine that takes like there's easier machines out there that take larger bills and give bills back, and it will make it easier for those when we do have to charge.
Yeah.
So the whole thing needs to be
If you
updated.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Basically, I just wanted to say, I'm
Yes.
100% for this. I
Yes.
think It's a wonderful public service. I do think that generally it will come out cost neutral,
Mhm.
and I would just get away from the cards and turn any
Yeah.
tax expense into cash and just be done with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll second that, Chris. And I think I'd be curious because part of, even when we were hiring, we were talking about where are places we can innovate and stay on trend and see what's coming on the horizon. And this feels like an area that it is a best practice or a standard of practice that is happening more
Mhm.
than,
I'm
right, like
telling you,
there's a shift
super
and stuff.
duper irritated if I have to print 2 pages and
And
pay
it's
$2.
20 cents,
I'm
yeah.
just irritated.
Oh, right. Like you know that you'd only paid 20 or 30 or 40, but we've paid, yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
yeah,
Right.
definitely.
I know that because I look at the bills and stuff,
Mhm.
that we pay money for fax overage.
Yes.
So, a lot. So is that gonna help us?
I actually want to look into how we're doing our faxing. I'm used to just using our big printers and when plug in a fax line and we do it that way. We do it differently here with the LDS machine. So I think by looking at all of that, we would only have the cost of the phone line at that point. So I have to work with Pat and see if we can do that, how that works. Do we need the LDS? Yeah.
So the other thing I think to keep in mind is the cost of the paper.
Mhm.
Because
And
you're
ink.
talking of, and you're talking about the credit card, but if somebody wants to print 100 pieces of paper.
Well, that's how we're going to limit it. It's going to be, my plan right now is you have to have a card. You have to have a Farmington Community Library card, so right away, gotta have a card. So it's really gonna be our residents. And it's going to be a limit because you have to scan your card, or it'll be a limit to either so much per day or so many pages per day, and anything over that you have to pay. So it's not going to be total free. We just want to cut down on those less than $1 costs. Yes, yes. I don't want to go totally free yet
Right.
at this point, but I want to just kind of get rid of those little charges that are just killing us with,
Anything that's that this $2 or
yeah,
under,
I'm almost like
$2
$5. Yeah, so I want to really look at that,
you're
yeah.
paying $1 per transaction plus, it sounds like a 30% transaction fee. You would have to be, a charge would have to be over $2.09
Mhm.
for you to break even.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's a lot
If
of
I did that
pages.
math.
Yeah, and I was and going cash free or cash only is totally what I love, but nobody cares cash. So it's we have to work it in and train them and get them used to that. So
you're
yeah,
right,
we're
you're
definitely
right, you're right.
yeah. But by then, by December, I want to have it figured out.
No,
Just go to the front desk and say like $10 a cat.
Oh, no, we don't give people, you can
Change.
come and use your credit card and get cash back from us. We don't do that.
We need an 18.
Yeah.
No, no.
I see, they have to.
Yeah.
They don't have cash to pay you.
You gotta bring the cash in.
Yeah, we're not
I
giving
see.
cash back, y'all.
Yeah. So the other thing I did want to
They
mention,
can like ask for change.
oh yeah,
We'll give change back if you give us that.
to continue the conversation about the construction, and that's something I wanted to mention. I've talked with Aaron, and Steve was not here today, so I need to talk with him that we, as a reminder, we are using the services of Real Point. We just did a kickoff meeting with them. They would like an opportunity to review everything that has been submitted so far. So I think that we can, there's two options, and you guys might know more than I do. Kind of like we did with the life insurance, we can vote to approve the proposed bid package once we have final approval of Real Point tonight. Like we can say, let's vote to approve the bid package as long as blah, 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 blah comes back from Real Point, okay, or, that kind of thing. Or we can call a special meeting pretty soon, though. It's going to have to be sooner than later once we hear back from Real Point to approve the bid package.
So just, without more information, I would like to speak in favor of a special meeting.
I also would, like,
yeah.
to hear from your point.
Yeah, just because, I mean, this is really our highest duty, is our fiduciary responsibility. And so being in the room together and hearing each other's questions really helps. And I think we're not allowed to vote by remote, so we have to at least have a quorum
Right.
physically present.
Correct.
But I think it's important enough that we could shake up our calendars and be here, because I think you can do this meeting in 15 or 20 minutes.
We could.
Yeah.
Especially if we get materials in advance and we come prepared. But I would like to speak for an in-person special meeting. I need to hear other people's questions. I just don't know enough.
Sure. And I also did finally receive the McCarthy Smith contract back from our attorney with mea culpa on his part. It kind of slipped through his email. So he did get it back to me with some comments. I haven't had a chance. I've been in interviews all day. Excuse me, I just got it back today to review what that looks like and get that over to Real Point. So I know that Aaron and them want to move forward on the bid release award letters, but I think I'm going to let him know that I'm going to let him know we need to wait like a week or two, and hopefully that shouldn't push things back too far. I'm thinking if we're not even starting until September.
Just be a week.
Right,
I would,
right.
But we eventually need to like motion and vote on this and do public notification of a special meeting.
But we only have to do it
Yeah.
within 18 hours. Yeah, and I don't think we have to notify 18 hours prior to the meeting, I think, is an hour.
It's less than 24 hours.
Yeah, it's 18, I think. So, I'll share the contract back with you guys. I just got it, so I will share it just so you're aware of it, as well as when I send it to Real Point. He had a few different comments and things, and some of it I don't understand because I don't speak,
you don't speak legal?
I don't speak legalese. But so we did, just want you to know, we had a kickoff meeting with them on Monday, and they went over kind of the future stuff a little bit, but really talking about getting the information to them right now, so they can review it and get back to us ASAP. Because we don't have a signed contract with McCarthy Smith at this point. McCarthy, yeah, Smith.
I have a question about EV charging stations.
McCarthy.
Do we want to go forward with that?
They're
or
in
not?
McCarthy and Son.
They haven't given me the cost of what that would be. I mean, he threw out 50.
For what?
The EV charging stations.
That wasn't included in the
They
proposal
know.
at all, just
No.
the underground lines, you remember?
Just the lines.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we want to go forward with getting the underground lines and then getting EV charging stations?
No. Just the underground lines.
Which I think is already included in the.
It is
That's
already
what I'm
easy.
asking. Do we want to go forward with the underground lines? Because that's adding to our costs.
Isn't that what you're saying, that that's already in there?
Yes,
The
it is.
other-
Or we can
You can remove it.
We
Oh.
can move it.
Yeah.
And what he mentioned is if we remove it, we're not getting the full cost of what it was gonna cost though, because there are we'll get most of it, but some of the charges of like submitting the bid and doing, like if he gave the example, like if it costs $50,000, we're gonna get back like 49,000 or 48,000, because there are already fees, like the work they did, the expenses to do all of it, to do all of that work, so it's not a full, you won't get all of it back. It'll just be,
Can these underground lines be added later?
No.
Or no?
No,
So
they-
it's-
We
We
had
have to rip up the
we had
revenue.
a long discussion about these, about the like EV. I was against putting the EVs in. But I do think a lot of people wanted to be able to put them in the future. So putting the price in to put those lines in right now in the concrete made a lot of sense. You know, even if you never use it, they could use it maybe for more lighting down there. I don't know, but there was a big, strong discussion about having EVs in the future. As I said, I'm always a no vote on that, but I agree that if you're gonna do it at all, you better do the lines right now.
Okay, I just wanted to see, because that is a way that we could
Yeah,
make our cost a little less. So,
we
but-
could use.
I mean, I'm the one who brought EV to the board many
Mhm.
years ago.
and I will tell you, people are very excited when we talk about it. They're
Yeah.
very excited about the idea of, in the future,
Yeah.
possibly being able to do that while they're here at the library. So I will just say a lot of people are excited by that. Mhm.
Anything else, Sasha, for director's report?
So, Sasha,
Yes.
I said I wanted to make a comment.
Yes.
So I'm really glad we got all this stuff today. I didn't want to, raise an issue, but, I do remember for 2 meetings in a row, you kept saying, well, they promised to have it this Friday and the next Friday and the other Friday.
What
Did
was
you
it?
ever find all these numbers that you were waiting for? Did you ever find out what all those delays were?
I think it was waiting for follow-up schematics from MCD.
Okay, cause it was, I thought, frustrating for you. And our concern was prices were rising every 15 minutes, so I'm glad that you got an explanation that satisfied you.
Mhm. It was an explanation.
Dragging the feet.
So yes, yep. So, yeah, I think that's all I have.
Great. I want to ask if you can prioritize getting our board meeting, like, it sounds like Real Point is aware. McCarthy and
Yeah.
Sons is gonna be communicated to, so the sooner we can get that board meeting on the special meeting on the calendar, that would be great, or at least, put it out to the group to see.
Smith.
Oh, take the agenda. Should say
Yeah.
Smith. So the sooner we can get our,
Yes.
put it out to the board to see our availability,
Survey.
so we can make sure to have quorum.
Minus.
Will we have to vote on anything at that special meeting?
It'll just be to vote to accept the bid package
Okay.
and the contract,
Yeah.
if it's been, yes,
We will need.
So we will need,
definitely need a quorum.
yeah, if we can get that.
And there is a possibility if it's next week, I won't be here, but Jill or somebody will be here just to answer questions.
as long as we have quorum.
Yeah, as long as you're here, that's the
Yes,
most
that's all we
important
need.
thing.
Have a discussion. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna move us to subcommittee updates. As for personnel committee, we met this week. We talked about tuition reimbursement policy. We've been working on that for a few months now. That came to us from the Working Conditions and Benefits Committee of the staff. And Sasha is making some final edits to the policy that we've drafted and an accompanying form that staff would fill out. And very exciting. This is the first time that, at least in my tenure, that we are able to partner with WCBC, send the policy and the form for them to give us some kind of high level feedback of how, this request came from them. So does it satisfy kind of what they're looking for and what staff would want? The beauty of having a long runway, we don't have to put it into effect until next year. And so we can take the time to do that. I'm looking forward to we'll be attending the July WCBC meeting. Renee, Kathy, will represent our committee there and get some feedback. So that's a tuition reimbursement policy. We looked at some other policies as well that I know we're going to talk about later today, so I'll skip over that and just say we talked about the Sunday hours that our library is open. Several months ago, when Kelly was still here, she shared a heat map of the door counts, and it looked like from 1 to 2 p.m. on Sundays, which is right when we open, there was a lot of traffic. And so part of what our conversation has been is, do we need to open earlier? Are there people just waiting to get in? And can we serve our community and our patrons better by being open longer on Sundays? And since then, Sasha has looked at more recent data, and it looks like it's not so concentrated at 1 to 2 anymore. And so just following the data, it doesn't feel like we maybe even need to consider extending hours, but we're going to continue looking at that, and we'll have more next time. So as far as personnel committee, I think that's all we have. Oh, Sasha. And finally, but not least, Sasha had her 6-month evaluation. I was able to have that conversation with her. We signed a piece of paper that said she's officially, here for 6 months. Things are going well. Kind of staff wise, policy wise, that means she's allowed to take leave now.
I'm off
She's
probation.
Which is great. But one of the things I want to highlight is I also talked to several staff, 19 to be exact. I had 19 meetings, because I kept saying I don't have the day-to-day understanding to properly evaluate and see how things are going. And I've wanted to do that for a while anyway. And it was wonderful to talk to staff to just hear how they perceive Sasha's leadership, and she's decisive when they need something. She gets it for them. Things that I don't think would be surprising for any of us to hear, that Sasha is very personable and makes decisions well and is open to communication and listening. And they feel really confident in her leadership to move us into, we're going into this phase 1 renovation. I ended each conversation by what's the priority you would want Sasha to focus on in the next 6 months? And overwhelmingly, it was renovations. They know that she's focused on it already. They've been involved in conversations. Sasha's invited them to have conversations about it. But understandably, there's some heightened attention around the impact on staff and work and all of this. And so, all that to say, I'm so happy that Sasha's certainly, made it this far, but it's really nice to hear from the staff who work from, all levels. I talked to staff at all levels and to hear all that. And so Sasha has all of that information, kind of what I summarized from those conversations. I don't know, Sasha, if you have anything to add to that.
No, I just wanted to share that I'm off probation. I said it, and I am on vacation next week. But no, that's what I know. I was waiting, headed back for some graduation celebration. So, but no, I think it was a great meeting, and I think everything that was shared with me is very valid and very exciting for me. So I just also want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Very good.
Thank you. Facilities committee.
All right, well, to start out, you met, Aaron, he is a remarkable young man and, he feels a lot of confidence in what he talks about. And it is impressive that the materials that he put together are very detailed to show, you know, what the construction project's gonna be. And he's very prompt and very efficient. So unlike our architect who like is not quite done and doesn't have everything, so he is the opposite. There'll be interesting dynamics for sure. Anyway, I wanted to point out to have to mention the difference in the Farmington building, because I thought that design element should be shared with everyone. That, you know, it's interesting that they're going to make the wall a little bit more than just a wall, which I think is a good. It's one of the talked about that before. So at the meeting, we talked about a couple of things in regards to the new areas. I talked a little bit about smoking. Are smoking going to be allowed in the more outdoor areas? And is it, you know, how is it used right now? And so it's just a generic discussion. Pretty much the answer is no, just keep it to the one smoking container. But it is something, you know, it's more broad than we had before. So we have to think about those kind of things. And I mentioned, I saw at Southfield, they have these wraps that they put around their canisters for cans or whatever they have. And just like we have for our book drop, that's a wrap that they put in. They have some really great designs to add a lot of personality if you need a container that's sitting outside. They're very attractive. The other repairs, Peter mentioned that the condenser, the air conditioner needs repaired at Farmington, so seems to be perpetual problem. And I mentioned that the lights in the fiction section here in the library, there are about 3 or 4 of the big overhead lights are not lit. And a lady was there looking for her book, and it was really dark. We need to have the lights get repaired more frequently. And other than that, and most of the meeting was from Aaron and his report. So, and then and Jill does a great job of the detail of what I'm doing.
I know, I think you got everything. Peter did mention that during the construction, when the browsing side is shut down while they're taking the steel beams out, that he's gonna work, he and his staff are gonna work to replace all those lights. The reason that so many are out, and aren't replaced as quickly is because he has to use a scissor lift to get out there, and he has to wait till there's nobody in the building.
And they have to replace something else.
The ballast.
Yes, the bow.
But it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're very right, and so that's something that it'll be good timing, and to focus on that while that area is closed.
Coming up quick.
Thank you for that update, Sharon. Kathy, anything for finance?
Well, we did not have a meeting this past month, so no updates to that, but I see on the agenda, I mean, I'm supposed to be doing the 26 and 27 budget, or do we want to do that in unfinished business in the business?
Since we passed the agenda as is, let's do that now.
Which?
Under finance committee.
Okay, cool. All right, so for the approval of the fiscal year 2027 budget.
First, I see the amended 2026 budget on here.
Okay. So, let's see, it's gonna be on one of these. Which, it's on
one
the
with
Okay, so you'll just put down, what it says, fiscal year 2026 final amendment, and it's just pretty much.
In the gray area.
That's one, got it.
And it's just primarily showing you, we had a deficit, and now we have to add a little bit of money so that everything comes out correctly.
So $204,855. Is that correct?
Pretty much.
Is the deficit.
Well, it's $92,800 that we had to put in operating.
Oh, do you say 92?
92,800, yeah.
We're down here.
So are you making a motion that we accept this as a?
Well, I'm gonna make some.
Okay.
So adding, so adding the 37,105 to revenues and 92,800 to expenditures will change the 2026 fiscal year budget to $8,747.90. That's opposed to amend the 2026 fiscal budget as presented.
Support.
Sorry, Kathy, I heard you say 90 cents. Here, I see $8,747,090.
Dollars, thank you.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be changed?
No.
And
You
Chris,
seconded
you
that?
second.
Yeah. I second this.
Any discussion?
Thanks, Kathy should be on top of this.
From, I guess, looking at, this the amendments column, it looks like the biggest changes are coming from our maintenance contracts and building improvements. Is that,
It looks that way.
when it says maintenance contracts, do we know?
I think some of it is, and this is something I've mentioned, I think I mentioned it to Kathy earlier. Some of the things that we are charging to some categories probably shouldn't be in those categories. So in the next year, we're gonna revisit, or Ashley and I with Plant Moran are gonna kind of identify what should be in some of these, because some of our maintenance contracts are things like computer stuff. Well, it is a contract that we do every year. It's not a maintenance contract. So I want to clarify where those should be going. And so there, and there have been some increases this year as, things have gone up.
So is that the 45,000
Mhm.
that's different is computer stuff?
No, it's just that was one illustration of
Okay.
something that is put into that maybe shouldn't have been. I know I think snow removal is up this year, and it was additional. I think our replacement carpets are up a little bit, like just I think increase in
Okay.
some of the different contracts that we have, and some of the things we've had to readjust. And I think some of it was for something else. I don't remember the other thing. Building improvements, I know that was an increase, and I think that was some of the work we've had done. The elevator work, they were down, and I mean, I think like the air compressor or the air
Mm,
thing, and
okay. Thank you, that's helpful. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving our amended 2026 budget, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Amended budget passed.
Okay, so, I'm sorry that the other one is so huge.
It's good for the eye.
I just kind of ran some things off the expenditure, but that's it. The only adjustment that I made from when we had looked at that before was adding under this, page on 970010, phase 1 capital asset project. We added, $2,704,000.
It's on the last page at the top under the
Capital
line item phase
phase
1.
one capital asset project.
Capital outlay expense?
Yeah. Capital asset.
Yes, that's the one.
So where's my number going to?
It's gonna-
6-5.
Yeah, it's going to 6.5.
It's in here.
That's really talked about before.
yeah, we did this at the last meeting. They just had to send us an updated
Yeah.
version.
I just wanted to show you. So, I proposed, any questions about any of this? Because we've looked it over like 3 times.
Yeah, we've,
Well, so we're budgeting 6.5 for that, but the information that we got tonight says 6.8.
Remember that 6.8 includes some of the
Think
work
we've
that's,
already
yep,
spent.
yep,
Gotcha.
yep,
Yeah.
But we had a lot,
CD.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
okay. Any questions? I propose to approve and adopt the 2027 fiscal year budget in the amount of $15,092,807.
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Right, any opposed? 2027 budget passed. Thank you, Kathy. Anything else for finance?
No, that is it.
So, let's move to unfinished business. We have a quick correction about the pay schedule that we passed, several months ago.
Yes, in February. I apologize. I noticed on this pay schedule, as you guys might remember, the very last line for the shelvers was supposed to be $15 because the law is going into effect in January. We needed to up it. And on the one you approved, it still said $13.95, I think. It was oversight in our budget, Plant Moran, it's 15. It was correct, so we don't have to adjust anything. But on the official pay schedule, I wanted to bring it forward because we need to reapprove it with the $15 now under the minimum for shelter aid instead of the $13.95 that it was showing the last time.
I move that we accept that.
Discussion?
Well,
First, we have to-
you have to motion. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Go ahead, yeah.
I move that we make that adjustment to the pay schedule.
Second,
Thanks, Kathy. Discussion.
Just, is that in our packet?
no.
It should have been sent in the packet.
It's not in our printed
Okay.
material.
No, not in the printed materials. It was supposed to be in the online one.
I actually didn't see it, but.
I didn't see it.
I don't know if I saw it as an attachment.
Do you want me to add
What
it?
was
Have
the
it?
name of the file?
It's the 2026-2027 fiscal year pay schedule.
No, it wasn't in there.
Okay.
But it's.
Well, you
That's
just
one
passed
little
your
thing.
copy.
Yeah,
and so
yeah, it was
everyone has
just
a chance
the
to see
bottom.
it.
Mea
That
culpa.
could be emailed to people for the.
Yes. That was
Thank you.
something.
They want to look at it. Those are 13 things.
All right, all those in favor of approving the pay schedule with the correction made, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So passed.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I'm
Kathy.
sorry, I had that question in mind. You moved, you seconded?
I did not move. Chris
moved.
moved, and Kathy supported.
You seconded.
No, I know.
Kathy
Okay,
seconded.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Stephen, for taking all those notes.
I'm doing the gym, I'm trying to do.
You
gym.
know, no, we appreciate Jim when he's not here. Moving us to new business. I don't.
I don't know if everybody has copies. I can't remember.
First, we have some policies that we need to, I think we can look at it all together, maybe. Can we approve them all as one? Or do we need to go through each policy?
I think we should do each policy separately
Okay,
because in case one doesn't pass, the other ones I want to pass, the two, you know what I mean? Like when it comes for voting,
sure.
just,
Sure.
just in case.
Well, in parliamentary procedure, we call that, I think the correct term is like a consent agenda, so
Yes.
we can all consent
Yes.
to do it as a package, and if we consent to that, then we can do it as a package.
Right.
If we all don't consent to that, then we do each one individually.
Do we want to consent?
So just to clarify, we're going to do a consent agenda on the two policies, remote work and dress code revision.
And.
And internet
And
acceptance.
internet
What?
Internet.
Oh, internet.
Acceptance policy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can move approval
I'll
of the
talk.
consent agenda consisting of those three documents, four
I'll talk to her.
documents.
Second it.
Thanks, Renee, for the support.
The third policy.
Internet acceptable use.
So there's only
So we
three.
did get those.
There's three.
There's three
It
that
is,
is for.
it wasn't on the agenda,
It's on the printed agenda, not on
not
the,
on the digital.
I will discuss that.
well, yeah,
So
this is
I
an
read it.
issue for a few.
there's two
months.
documents, so there's four documents, three
No.
policies.
Three.
There's four documents.
There's an extra document with the remote work
Agreement.
application or agreement.
Right,
That's,
Okay.
yeah, so
yeah.
I'm just.
There's three
clarifying,
policies
four
for-
documents, three policies.
yes, correct,
That we're putting on consent agenda.
correct.
And I can just ask Stella if anybody wants to remove anything from the consent agenda.
Does anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda?
No, we don't.
Can we vote on the consent agenda to group remote work, dress code, and internet acceptance policy all together? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful. We'll be voting on all of
seconded?
these. Renee did. You all should have received the policies
We did.
They're here, we got
Yeah,
it.
that- and email, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Can we get a motion?
I'll move that we accept all the policies.
Support?
We just did that.
No, we added it to the
That was-
consent agenda.
We
Now
added
gotta
it,
vote
that was
on
a
the actual
consent.
policy.
Consent to nutrition.
I read them all.
Who's,
I can do a second.
it, I can second it.
great, any discussion?
And I'm happy to answer any questions if you guys have them about them. The lawyer has seen all of them.
No, nobody pulled anything.
It was pretty straightforward.
Great, all those in favor of approving all of these policies as written, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. The policies have been approved. Next, we are moving to correspondence. I believe
We had
Jim,
one thing, I think.
I don't know if I saw what it was.
It was a follow-up from the last meeting. The person who came to the last meeting
Oh.
sent a follow-up to say thank you for hearing her at the last meeting about the testing database.
You. Next, public comment. Any comment from the public?
Oh, we have one.
Yes, go ahead, Stacy.
So, as you know, being somebody in the library world, I get a lot of library literature, and the United for Libraries June bulletin came out. And there are a couple of trustees who are getting awarded. And I think about this a lot, and I think about all the good work that everybody at the library does, and how it would be great to have things recognized on a national level. And so, because there can be self-nominations, but I'm including things like marketing, like, you know, there are librarians of the year, there's the movers and shakers, there are things like that. There are a lot of things that can be done if you have, and I don't know if you have the energy or the will to necessarily do it. But I do think that self-nominating would be a good thing, because the rewards are like minuscule in comparison, but you do like maybe get to go to a conference for free, for example. And it's something that this library should consider, because I don't think that collectively it toots its own horn enough as some of the good things that it does. So I would just put that out there.
Self-nominated with which organization?
Any of 'em.
Mostly the American Libraries Association. And I do think that this should be something. When?
It was a while ago.
Well,
I
see.
just saw the certificates. They were from the early.
So I just think it's time to think about it again.
Mm-hmm. Support.
Thank you for that comment, Stacy. Any other public comment? Moving to trustee comment. Any trustees want to comment on anything? Wonderful. That takes us to adjournment. I will call this meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
This meeting.
I hate it when